grandmother's bedroom door open, and I would hear my uncle come out, and he had a distinctive walk because he had one leg that was shorter than the other, and he had to wear special shoes. And so I could hear him walking into the living room, and I could almost hear him crumpling the newspaper and putting the kindling in and lighting the newspaper and starting the fire. And as soon as the heat started to work its way up into the attic and the wonderful aroma of coffee began to fill the attic, I knew it was just a moment before the women folk would start to get up. I knew it was just a matter of moments before the door to the attic would open and my Aunt Rachel would call up and say, "It's time to get up." And even before she finished that sentence, I would fly out of bed and I would be dressed and I'd be bounding down the stairs. When I came into the living room, my mom, who had developed severe rheumatoid arthritis and had lost the ability to walk, was in the lounge chair that we had set there for her so she could sit with the family during the day. Grandma Helen would be seated beside her, brushing her hair, and I would bound over and I'd jump into her lap and I'd plant bullet kisses all over her face, and it would make her laugh, and her laughter just filled my heart. That's how each day began for me, and I really, it's such a comfort to have that. I heard a song one time, it's called "We're Always Looking for What We've Lost." And I remember I would sit for hours sometimes trying to think about, what is it I've lost? What am I looking for? And, eventually I got to, I'm looking for that closeness. I'm looking for that family that I had as a child, because it made me feel content and it made me feel safe. And I didn't have that anymore. So. My name is Bill Hall, and I am a Tlingit Indian from Southeast Alaska. I am also a person living with AIDS and have been for well over 33 years now.
When I was first diagnosed, I was really angry and really upset. The person who gave it to me knew that they had it, and I thought I was a young woman who knew how to take care of herself. My name is Shana Cozad. I'm an enrolled member of the Kiowa tribe of Oklahoma, and I've been living with HIV for 25 years.
My name is Hamen Ides. I'm a Lummi tribal member, and I've been living with AIDS for 24 years. I knew I was gay from the time I was in the 6th grade. It was just who I was, and my parents accepted me for that, and there was no shame on that. So I was able to grow up thinking, well, this is who I am, it's okay. So I was really fortunate to have that in my life. And I've been able to, to carry that throughout my lifetime. People can say whatever they want to say about me. It's like, I know who I am. And Creator knows who I am. Creator knows I'm not an evil person.
I tested positive in June of '86, and by then the disease had already taken hold, and it had just been given the name AIDS. And the communities, you think you can talk to your community about this and other people, but they were so afraid of it that if they even thought you were HIV positive, they moved away from you. So it was a very lonely period, because I felt so alone. I felt like I had nobody to talk to. First experience I had was learning that in some instances, which is a really hard lesson learned, that love was conditional. We love you as long as you don't bring shame on our family. Bring shame on our family and we'll disown you. I think of myself as the reluctant advocate because I'm so not the person to be doing this because I'm so nervous about speaking in front of people. I approach, this by trying to get at that human element, by telling them, just what HIV does to you. It impacts your whole life. Life as you know it ends when you become HIV positive. And I don't think people think about that when they think about HIV. They don't realize the impact. I know 3 natives who were so ashamed that they found out they were HIV positive. They lived in constant fear that family and friends would find out and they would be disowned, that they never sought treatment. And because of that, they died. And I think somehow that story needs to be put right out there.
I see that our communities we're really resilient in lots of ways, and then in some ways we're really fragile. And so when you talk about having HIV in a Native community, it gets real tricky, and a lot of people are afraid of you, and I've experienced that, and so it can be really, really hard because we come from proud people with strong heritage and strong culture, but we want help just as much as the next person, and so. But if our own communities don't know how to address that and support it and talk about it, then it makes it hard when you're living with this. As I got married and had 2 more children through this disease, my daughters were, they had friends in our neighborhood, and friends would come over to our house because we had the best trampoline in the neighborhood. And one of the moms saw that I had been interviewed one year for World AIDS Day, and the mom recognized me, and she told her daughters not to come over to our house anymore because she said, well, if that lady has HIV, then I'm sure those kids do, so you don't want to go play over there anymore. And so for a little while there weren't any kids coming over.
This is your son. This is your daughter. This is the kid you loved as a child. They are no different now because they have HIV. And until we start doing something, our people are gonna die.
Having that spiritual strength is so important because you have that love, you have that acceptance, you have that unity. And I think it's so important that we have that in our lives so that we are able to deal with any situation that comes along in our life. Our spiritual strength is so important. And the work that I do is focused on the Native American medicine wheel, and that's learning how to live in balance, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally.
We're testimony sitting here of being survivors. We're long-term survivors, and to not let anybody convince you that you're going to roll over and die tomorrow.
We don't have to wait. There's no excuses. It's for all of the health issues that we deal with in Native communities. We have the knowledge to do it now. We don't have to be waiting and wasting time and wasting lives to change this behavior. We don't have to waste all that time. We can do it now.
It's important for the new generation of people who are being diagnosed with this to understand that there is 30 plus years of experience, and that there are elders, there are other Native people that are available to talk to about this. And the more talking, the better. The more talking and the more sharing, the better. And that we're there to help each other.
Now, for me, I hope that the people that see and watch this video will see the impact that stigma has had on us as people living with HIV and AIDS. And, you know, they've heard all the things that we've talked about here. You know, maybe there's somebody out there that has an idea or has, you know, something that they think would help. And, you know, it really is about stepping up. There is something that happened in our lives that made us step up and become advocates for this. And it really, it's going to take so many people and talking about this, and just such, I keep saying, such a daunting task that it's going to take more than one discussion.